Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is our Endosymbiotic Theory project by Miguel Ibarra, Carla Hernandez, Mia Guerrero, and Ranger Rick Ramirez, or Eric Ramirez. The theory of endosymbiosis explains the origins of the mitochondria and the chloroplast. The mitochondria is an organelle inside of cells, and it's in eukaryotic cells, but mainly it's in large cells, where the process of respiration and energy production occurs. The mitochondria creates most of the chemical energy for chemical reactions. This energy is stored in ATP. They consume the most amount of oxygen in the human body. Chloroplast is an organelle, and in this organelle, the process of photosynthesis occurs, and they produce energy through photosynthesis. They process the release of oxygen inside of plant cells. Bacterial cells are single-celled organisms, and they are important for the planet's ecosystem. Bacterial cells are prokaryotes, but not all prokaryotes are bacterial cells. Some similarities between the mitochondria, chloroplasts, and bacterial cells is that they all have their own circular DNA, apart from the DNA already found in the cell's nucleus. This feature further proves the endosymbiotic theory, which we will be discussing soon, because it allows the mitochondria and chloroplasts to survive on their own. Both the mitochondria and the chloroplasts have the same size as a prokaryotic cell, and they get divided by the binary fission. They have their own ribosomes, with 30S and 50S subunits, 30S being a smaller and 50S being a larger one. The double membrane in these organelles appears to be a relic of the absorption of prokaryotic bacteria by eukaryotic host cells. The inner membrane comes from the bacterial membrane. The outer membrane comes from the host. The main role of the inner membrane for mitochondria is to store proteins from electron transport and ATP synthesis. Here is where the citric acid occurs. For the chloroplast, the inner membrane mostly controls what goes in and out of the chloroplast, similar to a cell membrane on a eukaryotic cell. The role of the outer membrane is to control the exchange of information, cations, and metabolites on both organelles. Endosymbiotic theory 1 is when a eukaryotic cell engulfs and absorbs a prokaryotic cell, while endosymbiotic theory 2 is when a eukaryotic cell that has already undergone the process of endosymbiotic theory 1 engulfs and absorbs another eukaryotic cell. So basically, to sum up the differences between these two theories, is that endosymbiotic theory 1 is when the eukaryotic cell absorbs a prokaryotic cell, while endosymbiotic theory 2 is a eukaryotic cell absorbing a eukaryotic cell that has already undergone the process of endosymbiotic theory 1, essentially just a eukaryotic cell that has already absorbed a prokaryotic cell previously. The endosymbiotic theory implies that organelles in eukaryotes descended from prokaryotes, as the theory implies that the eukaryotic cell engulfs and absorbs a prokaryotic cell. Therefore, they get the same organelles or similar organelles. This theory is similar to the Neolithic revolution, as it relates to the evolution of humans being able to farm, as well as providing homes for settlement. Just like anaerobic cells provide a home and source of food to the mitochondria. Therefore, both show growth and development for more complex structures. The mitochondria takes in oxygen and then takes it out as water. The anaerobic cell isn't only the home or the host of the mitochondria, it also provides food for it. More specifically, it provides it with glucose. On Earth, billions of years ago, the amount of oxygen was very, very low. But as the years went by, more oxygen was produced, which was bad for the anaerobic cells, since they don't consume oxygen, they can't. The Neolithic revolution found new ways to adapt and change the way of living and gathering resources. As time went by, however, cells swallowed the mitochondria, which allowed cells to take the oxygen to then turn it into water, making it tolerable to oxygen, just like humans learned to settle and farm rather than hunt and gather. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.